Hey guys, and welcome back to the J2 channel. And this is your match review of France beating Austria by 1 goal to 0 in what I would say was a very interesting game of football. So far, out of all the games in the Euros, I would say this was a game that I would say I the enjoyed the most. Germany's game was really good, but I enjoyed it the most in terms of competitiveness between two teams. I'm going to put it like that. In terms of two teams coming up against each other on a competitive standpoint, I felt like this was probably the best game to watch because I think, in terms of on paper, France's quality is clearly superior to Austria. But in terms of tactically and what we actually saw on the pitch today, Ralph Ragnick definitely closed that gap in quality by his setup and his tactics. Um, with France, I've got mixed reviews about them. I'm not gonna lie, there's parts of the game I was impressed by, but there's parts of the game that I just wasn't impressed by, and that's got to do with probably Deschamps himself. I'm not gonna lie. But look, let's start with Austria. I thought Austria were really good tonight. Um, and they showed why I actually have them coming second in this group. I genuinely think Austria have got something for people this tournament. I believe they're definitely capable of beating the Netherlands, and they're definitely capable of beating Poland 100%. And look, in today's game against France, probably the favourites of the tournament, or top three definitely, they really, really stood out to me. And I think tactically, the way Ragnick set them up, they were aggressive, they were tenacious. I thought their press today was top quality. I thought they were moving the ball around really, really well to a high level, really breaking France down, giving them loads of different problems. Problems that I don't think Deschamps was ready for, problems I don't think Deschamps had answers for you know. And considering that, I think France and the players have to applaud themselves tonight, because I thought, from a tactical perspective, Deschamps got destroyed, but I think player quality is the reason why France won this game today. You even take a look at the goal they scored. I mean, in general, France didn't really create too many chances. Before the goal they scored, they had the Mbappe chance. The keeper made a good save, tried to go near post Mbappe. But yeah, the keeper makes a good save. That game kind of felt like tonight that, for as much talent as France have all over the field, kind of feels to me in that game, and I don't know whether this is the only time this is going to happen, and whether my theory that I'm about to present to you guys will carry on throughout the tournament, but it feels to me they rely a little bit too much on Kylian Mbappe. I think that game showed it, and I hope that doesn't carry out throughout the whole tournament, because if it does, I'm not sure France win it. I'm not sure France go as far as I had them going in the predictions video. Do check it out. I'm giving you snippets of what I said in that predictions video, but if you don't know what I said and how far I have them going, do check out that video. I just believe today showed that they just relied a little bit too much on Mbappe to bring that spark, be that difference maker. And don't get it twisted, Mbappe was the difference maker today. You saw it in the goal. Dembele today, very frustrating on that right hand side. Mbappe saw how frustrating he was playing. He thought, you know what? Let me come over to this side and show you how it's done. He comes over to that side. He gets on the ball. He's 1v1 with the defender, and his his pace, his movement, and the the sharpness of it, how quick he is to sort of, because he slowed it down massively. The defender looks like he's in a good position 1v1 against him. And then all of a sudden, Mbappe just turns it on. Boom. Goes past him. Yeah? By going down the byline. Puts the ball in. And Wobber, I think his name is, he's just all over the place. He doesn't set himself right to clear the ball. It hits his head. It goes in the back of the net. A bit lucky for France, but Mbappe was the difference maker in that, because the way he got past his man and the amount of space and time he actually had to put that ball in the box is actually brilliant from Mbappe. He shouldn't have been able to do that, considering the position he was in when he was in that 1v1 situation with the fullback. So that was the difference tonight, the quality. Because I just believe Austria cut them apart many times. Um, Austria won the ball back high up a lot of times. The only problem Austria was the finishing and the lack of quality when they got to the final third, a bit like Serbia did the other night against England. And I just think France today, like their players, for me, I mean, the first player I want to big up, N'Golo Kante. I mean, wow. And before we get to N'Golo Kante, let me just finish up my point on why France, I believe, just rely on Mbappe too much. I just think every time they get the ball, it's like, look for Mbappe, look for Mbappe, look for Mbappe. And then in general, I just think the quality of the other players that played today wasn't good enough. Thuram was not good today. Ousmane Dembele wasn't good today. I can't lie. When I talk about the setup with the Champs, I'm not a fan of this. You're moving Mbappe up front and then you're moving him to the left and you're switching him into Ram. I'm sorry. Every time Mbappe was getting a tune or every time Mbappe was trying to do something or it looked like he was going to do something, it was because he was playing out wide. You know, the goal came from him out wide, obviously on the right hand side. He's never on the right hand side, to be fair to him. That felt like AS Monaco Mbappe, that when, that goal that obviously, you know, Austria gifted to France via Mbappe. It felt like Mbappe was rolling back the years with his Monaco days, being that right winger, not seen him play there since literally his Monaco days. But it just feels to me that Griezmann tonight, he just wasn't on it, wasn't that good today. You expect more from him. Thuram and Dembele, just not good enough today. And I just think for me, maybe what France were missing was that outlet. And I think if you want to get the best out of Mbappe, for me, Giroud needs to be on the pitch. For me personally, I think France as a collective, I think their attack as a collective, I think is very, very well balanced and very good when Giroud's on the pitch. When Giroud's on the pitch, you know, I believe that's when you really see Griezmann perform to his level. I think, you know, Giroud being that outlet and being allowed to fight defenders. Mbappe can run off him. And Giroud's a great link-up player. He's got a good first touch. I believe with players like Mbappe, if you want to get the best out of him, I think players like Giroud need to be on the pitch. Not having Mbappe 1 minute be up front, because every time he was up front, he really didn't do anything. But every time he was on the left, he was making that impact. But then at the same time, he's missing that link-up play. I could tell with his body language that Marcus Thuram was frustrating him a lot. A lot. And it just feels like if Giroud's there instead, they understand each other better. The chemistry between the two of them is better. And it also brings Griezmann into the game a lot more. So for me, that's problem number one that the Champs, for me, needs to sort out. Put Giroud on the pitch a lot more and you'll get the best out of Mbappe 100%. And Griezmann. Should both players step up even without Giroud? Yes, they should. 100%. But, I look at likelihood for me, and the likelihood is if Giroud's on the pitch instead of Marcus Thuram, I believe Griezmann and Mbappe perform way better because Giroud just offers something different. He's your target man. He's the one that will distract the two centre backs and he will allow Mbappe to play with freedom and he will allow Mbappe to play from the left from the start. It also gives Griezmann that free role. It allows him to be like that sort of ghost that you don't see coming. Pause. Because obviously Giroud's there distracting and occupying the two centre backs with his physicality, his strength. He's being the target man. He's linking up the play. He's winning his aerial duels and stuff like that. And another issue for me as well is, look, Rabiot. Do we really need to see Rabiot in this France team? Don't get it twisted. He actually played well tonight. I actually thought he played well. He won the ball back a lot. He was good on the ball, made the right decisions most of the time. But I just feel like with the talent they've got, with Camavinga, with Tchouaméni, I just think to myself, I believe those two would be a better partner for Kante than Rabiot because him and Kante and Rabiot tonight were swapping roles at times. You saw at times where Rabiot was driving forward in the first half and Kante was the one sitting back. And I can understand why the Champs would do that to an extent because of the transition. In transition, you want Kante there because Kante stops transitions for fun. He stops counterattacks for fun. And you saw it today. And I'm going to get to him. Don't worry, I'll get back to him in a moment because he was absolutely brilliant tonight. But I can understand why, to an extent, you would want Kante there. But at the same time, Kante showed in the second half why you want him to be that box-to-box role. And have a Camavinga or Tchouaméni just sitting back and being that DM. and allowing Kante to really be box to box. Because if you want to get the best out of Kante, I don't want him to be restricted like he kind of was in the first half at times, a lot of the time, sorry, by having Rabiot go forward and him just being the six. You know, like he's decent enough on the ball to do the job, but I feel like, you know, his strength is literally just like running around, winning the ball back high up the pitch, you know, and he does that to such an elite level. You know, Kante's somebody I want all over the pitch. I don't want him restricted to just one position as the six. I want him box to box. I want him involved in both boxes because he makes such a high impact in both boxes, and he's got the engine to do so, and his fitness seems to back it up as well. He doesn't get many injuries nowadays. Ever since he's gone to Al Ittihad, boy, he's not been getting injuries. So for me, if he plays like a Chouameni as well, so if Chouameni gets into this team or Camavinga alongside a Kante and allow Kante to be that box to box midfielder and be as brilliant as he is, and you allow Giroud to just be your number nine, your target man. You know, your centre forward alongside Mbappe instead of swapping Mbappe and Thuram all the time like they were. Then for me, you definitely get. I think France definitely do sign. You know what I'm saying? But I believe Dembele in general needs to step up. If Thuram's gonna play, he needs to step up. Rabiot was decent tonight, but for me, for the sake of balance, I think he needs to be dropped for Chouameni or Camavinga. The defense done its job tonight. Theo Hernandez was pretty good. Pavard was good. Not Pavard, bloody hell. Theo Hernandez and Jules Koundé. Koundé was really good tonight. Right back. I really liked his performance today. What a performance from Koundé. He's been playing there a lot recently. Instead of centre back. Top performance from him. Upamecano was alright. Saliba was alright. He did get bailed out one time by Kante though. Pretty sure it was the attacker for Austria. He got past Saliba so easily and Kante bailed him out. And look, let's just talk about Kante. Kante tonight rolled back the years, man. You know, before the game started, I saw him singing the national anthem. And I thought to myself, wow, this is really the first time I'm going to watch Kante play a game of football in over a year. In over a year. I've not seen Kante play a game of football from the jump, probably since Real Madrid away last season, 2023, when Chelsea played Real Madrid in the Champions League. That's the last I can remember. Maybe he started a game after that, maybe, and played. But it's been a long time since I've watched Kante play, man. And it was nice to see him back in a France shirt as well. I've not seen him in a France shirt in years as well. It's been a minute. I'm pretty sure this is his first international tournament in a while. Like in a minute. Probably since the last Euros in 2021. He's not had a France international call-up in 2 years. 2 years, guys. You know, he missed the World Cup due to injury, unfortunately, in 2022. Obviously, you know, he's back now, and it was great to see him tonight. I mean, yeah, he just rolled back the years, man. So good, man. I mean, wow. I mean, it's just, I'm in awe of him. Honestly, he's one of the best midfielders I've ever watched play, personally. I love him to bits, you know. I was even tweeting out, you know, can we bring him back somehow? You know what I'm saying? Because, bruv, I would have loved to have still had him here at Chelsea, but it is what it is. It's nice to see him do well, and I really hope you know, for his sake that France do win the Euros, so he can complete the set. You know, it's the only trophy missing from his cabinet. You know, he's won everything else in his career that he's needed to win at club level. So yeah, it would mean the world to me if I saw him win the Euros. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely brilliant tonight. The transitions, I mean, defensively, that moment where he saves Saliba, just brilliant, man. Like on the ball, he's got bags of energy. He never stops running, never stops working hard. You know, he was even giving cheeky 1-2s at times. He was driving with the ball. There was a moment in the second half where France kind of had a counter attack. I think it was Thuram who gave him the ball, and he's just driving with the ball. Such speed, man. Such speed, carrying it forward, you know, and then he done like a cheeky. He doesn't do this much, but when he does, it's really good. Where he was 1v1 with the defender, he cuts in, then he goes out, cuts in. Looks like he's gonna pass it backwards. No, he goes back out there and he puts the crossing. It was a decent cross. It was cleared out by Austria though. But yeah, France just in general though, could do a lot better than that. Um, for me, I think Austria definitely don't have the quality like they do, but tactically is the reason why they were able to compete today. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if tactically Ronald Koeman gets it right, then maybe the Dutch can do something against France. But I don't see that happening because I don't rate the Dutch highly myself in terms of at least like the manager and maybe the setup in general. Although their defenders are really good. Hopefully Mbappe's fit so I can see him have a battle with the likes of Van Dijk, De Vrij, Nathan Ake. That would be a really interesting game. But yeah, France tonight, a little bit like England, for me, a little underwhelming. They were obviously, this 1-0 result is better than England because with France, they didn't actually sit back. They didn't actually sit back willingly. You know, when they were on the ball, they did try to keep position. They did try to dominate the game. It's just for me, the reason why I'm not going to give them as much criticism as England is because with England, they chose to sit back against Serbia. They chose. They allowed Serbia to have the ball. In this game today, I wouldn't say France allowed Austria to have the ball. I feel like France, every time they got the ball, it wasn't like they gave it back to Austria most of the time, like England were. France tried to do something on the ball. They tried to still control the game. They still tried to break the lines. They still tried to score more goals. They clearly did. It's just Austria, a lot of the time in the second half, wouldn't allow them to have the ball. Austria were pressing them very aggressively, and their structure and their tactical game and their game plan from the manager, Ragnick, was brilliant. And Deschamps had no answer for it. You know, so it's like they were underwhelming, yes, but not to the extent that England were. And I think a part of that has to do with the way Austria played tonight. You know, so look, credit to I guess France. They got the W, I guess. But mainly credit to N'Golo Kante, man of the match by far. The guy is still world class. He's still world class. He's still at the top of his game, and it's just nice to see him do so well, man. So yeah, happy for Kante. France get the W, and it looks like France are top of their group. I'm pretty sure, are they? Or is it Netherlands? I'm not sure, but they're both on 3 points. They face each other next. We've obviously got Austria against Poland that will come up next as well in that group at the very least. And I believe Austria definitely can go through in this tournament. I mean, can go through this group 100% as second place. It depends on what happens. If maybe Austria can beat Poland and probably hope France beat Netherlands, then yeah, they can definitely go through. If they then face, the Netherlands and it's 3 points, 3 points, whoever wins goes through type thing, we'll see. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. And by the way, just to say, Kylian Mbappe, look, whoever told him to go back on the pitch and just sit down, it's just embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing because I could tell Kylian didn't want to do that himself. He's picked up a very unnecessary yellow card. And look, you never know, but that could cost France down the line. Say he gets another one later on in the tournament. Say he gets one, I don't know, in the round of 16. And in the quarterfinals, they come up against I don't know, a Portugal or something, or like a Spain. And say Mbappe's not there. It's like, boy, that could cost him down the line is what I'm basically trying to say. Whoever told him, maybe I think it was Deschamps who may have told him to go back on the pitch and sit down. It's just an L, man. So that was so unnecessary. And Mbappe in general tonight, he tried. He tried to make things happen, but the guy just cannot be playing up front, man. You want to get the best out of your best players? Play him on the left and stick Giroud up front. So their chemistry, the link-up play can be a lot better because Marcus Thuram tonight wasn't that good. I don't know why he was selfish as much as he was tonight, by the way. It's like, I get you've had a decent season at Inter, but relax yourself. And Ousmane Dembele, I mean, oh my God. I mean, look, this is a guy that I've rated for so many years, all the way back from his Dortmund days and when he joined Barcelona. This is a player I loved. This was a player that 2 years ago, in the summer of 2022, I wanted at Chelsea Football Club. But as far as I'm concerned, I've been done with the guy ever since that World Cup final in 2022, where he was subbed off before the halftime whistle, and rightly so, because he put in one of the worst performances you will ever see. And tonight it was just frustrating. That's how that's always been him though. For someone with so much talent, with raw pace, great crossing ability, his creativity is really good. The guy's just so frustrating. Oh, honestly, I want to pull my hair out. Literally just watching this guy. It's just jarring, but hey, we'll leave it at that, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. That's been your review of Austria 0, France 1. France get off to a decent start with the win. They get the 3 points on the board. I guess that's what it's about in these games for the big teams. Just get the 3 points out the way, unlike Belgium, you know what I'm saying? And them teams there, yeah, got me. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Euros content and action. So yeah, see you lot then. Peace.